Will you condemn Antifa for the attack in Washington?
We'll be making statements.
Ian Bexley for Rebel News Network here outside of Rayburn House in Washington, D.C. I'm here waiting for Ilhan Omar and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, along with a handful of other House Democrats and Republicans, as I can find them, to ask them a very simple question about what happened over the weekend in Tacoma, Washington. A radical leftist and an avowed Antifa member, someone who's been photographed many times in Antifa rallies, has been shot and killed after attempting to firebomb an ICE center. Now, I'm going to ask a very simple question of any congressperson that I can find. Will they condemn Antifa and the terrorist act that we saw over the weekend? Let's see what we can get. Will you condemn the Antifa attack in Washington over the weekend? It's easy to condemn terrorism. Will you condemn it?
Is it clear?
Antifa firebombed a facility in Tacoma over the weekend. It's an ICE facility. Will you condemn them for that? Will you condemn Antifa for the attack in Washington?
We'll be making statements.
It's easy to condemn a terrorist attack. We're wondering if you'll condemn the ICE attack again, the Antifa attack against an ICE facility in Tacoma, Washington over the weekend. No? Do you condemn Antifa for their violent actions against American law enforcement?
Okay, so now you're getting in the way of me walking, so I'm asking you to please back up. Sir?
Do you condemn Antifa?
What I'm condemning is a lack of journalistic integrity, and you're not respecting my physical space right now, and I'm going to ask you to step away.
Antifa didn't respect the integrity of that building.
You can give me a card and we can respond.
So you're not going to condemn them? This isn't a journalistic ethics thing. I'm asking questions that CNN won't. Will you condemn Antifa?
Sir, asking one more time to please scoot over.
Now, these questions that I asked them were very simple, and of course, they didn't really have much of an answer. Now, I waited as the committee meeting where they were going to grill Kellyanne Conway, I waited for it to conclude. And as I did, members of the media who were typically waiting outside of the doors where staff and members walk in, I saw a few heads poking out of into the hallway. And after I sort of stepped into the shadows, they all sort of fled out. And I was able to ask them all the same question and kind of got the same results. But I did get an answer from one of them. Would you like to condemn Antifa for their attack on an ICE facility?
Well, obviously, any attack on any facility is something that we shouldn't condone as the United States government.
Thank you. Why is it so hard to condemn terrorism? Well, it's hard for the Democrats, I think, because a large part of their grassroots support, their activist support, would be alienated if they did condemn Antifa as a whole. I think that's a serious problem in American politics, and particularly in the Democratic Party. And I'm going to be very interested to ask presidential candidates, presidential nominees going forward if they will condemn Antifa, just as Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Ilhan Omar, and others refused to do today. For the Rebel.media, I'm Ian Bexley. Hey, thanks for watching our coverage here in Washington, D.C. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to like and subscribe and maybe pitch in a few bucks to help cover the cost of flying all the way to Washington, D.C. to ask congressmen and congresswomen the questions that CNN just refuses to. If you want to see what happens as it happens, follow me on Twitter @TheRealKian.